Hello and welcome to Double Dragon Trouble. Looking a bit confused here. Here we go. Our weekly D&D stream where we play a game of homebrew Dungeons and Dragons set in the Forgotten Realms. We're playing a campaign where the dragons have taken over the entire world since Tiamat was released. Dragons everywhere, trouble everywhere. But we have some heroes who are fighting against it. In Waterdeep, they encountered the Resistance against the tyranny of dragons, and they joined up. And they got a mission: track this caravan. Just track it. Look up what it's going to do, where is it going, what are they up to, all that kind of stuff. But on the way, they got caught up in hacks and weird ladies and spiritual rituals, which resulted in the death of one of the players, the loss of 2 souls. But they are still on track. And last time they reached the Great Forest, traveling up this tributary river, the Unicorn Run, where they encountered centaurs who had problems with goblins, of anything goblins. And you decided you wanted to help them in exchange of getting some kind of help to get to this dark fortress, which Dinok, one of your companions, had seen in a vision. So you followed the guide to the place of the goblins, and you found the goblins. And you immediately blew up one of them with a firebolt, and that's where we left off.
Amazing.
It might be interesting to add that you also had another encounter on your travels through the forest. I don't remember which one. I think it was Bright Scratch. You saw something in the forest. And when you went to investigate it, you only found these huge claw footprints in the undergrowth.
Yes.
Which could either be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which you are familiar with because you're Tabaxi from Chult, or a dragon. But you didn't find any dragon apart from the footprints, so that's nice.
That's something.
A quick introduction of the players in a random order. We'll start with Hilde Berghagener playing Bright Scatter, the Tabaxi fighter.
Beautiful.
Welcome. Then we have Chris Jørgensener playing. It's getting out of hand.
Yes.
Chris Jørgensen playing Balthasar, the warlock.
Yes.
Who knows human? Huh? Human
Yeah.
warlock.
Wait, it's on stream though. It's not a secret. Shit.
Oh, well, an ASMR. But what is that? Do we know? Who knows? Warlock. Welcome.
Thank you.
And then we have Lucas Barr playing the angrier than angry dwarf barbarian, Bethroga World Throne. And I'm the Dungeon Master, in case you wondered why I was speaking.
Woo!
Alright, I think that takes care of the recap. If you have any questions about the recap, you have 1 second. Alright, let's get on with this.
Perfect.
Oh, that was Nicholas right there. You have any questions? Oh, okay, fine. Yeah.
Alright, so you are in the forest, huge ancient trees all around you. This is an old forest. It's like a Fangorn. It's very old, full of memory and anger. Vines hanging down all over the place, old trees that have been cut down by gales in the past, sort of like hanging in the branches of other trees, just slowly rotting away, precariously balanced. And in front of you, there's this mound hidden behind bushes and trees, but you can just make out the silhouette of this huge mound in front of you. In front of it, you found this fallen log onto which 2 bickering goblins were sitting, arguing about something, who knows what. Whereupon Balthasar blew up one of them with a firebolt. So the other goblin was in the middle of making a very good argument when his conversation companion suddenly exploded. He turns around, he looks at you, and the camera just zooms back a bit as you stand there with your cloaks billowing and the smoke from Balthazar's hands and all that stuff, and just reaches into his pouch, pulls out a horn.
Firebolt!
Damn it! I take my longbow and shoot him.
Alright, make an attack roll.
$23.
That is definitely a hit. So what are your damage modifiers on such a shot?
D8.
Well, your modifier, so your dexterity.
Oh, my dexterity. 3.
Alright. I guess you still have to roll then.
9.
Right, yeah. So you shoot, you split the horn as he's toot. The arrow goes through his mouth, out of the back of his head, and slowly turns around. Falls over the log, and then there's like a small splash of leaves flying up when he drops over the top of the log. And then for a moment, everything is quiet. Then, from behind the bushes and the trees up on the mound, you hear the sound of coming over there, and then you hear footsteps rushing many feet somewhere in front of you.
Nice.
Well, shit.
Is there a bush I can hide in?
Yeah, I mean you're in the forest, so.
Yeah, but like close by.
I mean you're almost standing behind a bush, so you can just like do this, and you're behind the bush.
Yeah. I hide in the bush.
All right, give me a stealth check.
Yes, sir.
Balthazar is really wearing the wrong colors to be hiding in a forest.
18.
18. All right, you step behind the bush. What are you wearing as Balthazar? Oh, you're.
I'm wearing the red and gold
Oh,
dragon cultist armor.
Beautiful.
I'll still try though.
all right.
I'll try and just hide behind a tree or something.
All right, you look around. Oh, that's a tree. Give me a stealth check.
Oh, that's actually good. 19.
Oh.
All right.
Can I try to hide as well?
Sure, of course.
Well, not very good apparently. What's my modifier? 6.
6. All right, so a bright scratch. You find the bush. You can hide in the bush. Blend in. That's well, there's a tree I can stand behind. No problem. Bethroga, you look around. There's a rock. It's not as tall as you are, but you can stand behind it, and it covers like half your body at least. So it's something.
Nice.
Is Grbalusht with us?
Oh yeah. I never remember how many R's there are in Grbalusht.
No, I think it changes every time.
It might be 3. Natural 20.
He's the best party member.
He looks around. He looks at a bright scratch, hide behind the bush. He looks at Balthazar, then at Bethroga. Then just like does this, and then just like lifts up into the tree branches above. I guess Dina also has to do.
All right, he's with it.
Doing a decent job. Of 13, probably has plus at least 2.
That's the plan. We kill 2 at a time, and then we hide, and then we kill 2 more, and then we hide.
All right, that's a sound plan. So you all sit there waiting. You hear the feet in the undergrowth, like branches snapping, and you hear another sound. Like it sounds like almost as if someone is high-fiving somewhere.
Oh.
And then spilling out from among the bushes, you can see 10 goblins just running ahead with spears, bows, small swords, even smaller daggers. One of them just carrying a huge great axe, just dragging it after itself. And 2 of them sort of just running, looking at each other, and then high-fiving.
Beautiful.
And they fan out, just looking. One of them doesn't have a weapon, he's just like standing with his hands.
Goblin monk.
Maybe he is. And then all the eyes turn on you, Bethroga.
Damn it!
Everyone roll initiative.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's at least.
Oh, well, they're not doing very well in these initiatives. Alright, Bethroga, how are you doing?
19.
Oh, 19. Balthazar,
16.
16. And Bright Scratch,
19.
19.
Holy.
Which one of you want to go first?
Bethroga can go first.
Oh yeah, alright.
I just ruined it for everyone else, so why not?
Ah!
There's that 1 second where you think, is this gonna work? Have they actually spotted? And then it becomes more and more apparent that they have indeed spotted you. Oh, Jesus! 3 of them wrote natural ones. So you can see 3 of them are sort of like looking at you, and they get so eager that they start running, but they like tumble over their own feet, just drop on the ground. Oh!
Face plant.
Is that what they say? Oh! They sound like Mario.
It's for me.
All right. I think we have an initiative order. I need to make Marcus make me up some sort of program that can roll a lot of initiatives and put them in order. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, Gerbalust. Oh, Gerbalust made it with a 2. All right, here we go. We're ready. So, Bethroga, you can see all these 10 pairs of goblin eyes just focus in on you.
Yeah.
9 at least. 2 of them are a bit unfocused. You can see the goblins carrying like a wineskin in one hand. So they are within 30 feet of you. They're sort of like lined up behind the log. So what do you want to do?
I'm guessing that seeing so many stupid little goblins just pisses me off, so I'm just starting by getting angry.
Just slamming the rock.
I'm angry that I didn't manage to hide, so I got uncovered by such stupid filth, and then I get angry, and then I take my great axe and just slash at the nearest one, I guess.
Alright, so just stride into the midst of these goblins and start just swing the axe around. Give me an attack roll.
What's 19?
That's a hit.
Nice.
Let's have some damage.
Damage. Oh, I don't have. Okay, it's a d12. Good. Then it's a 10 damage.
Alright, so the first one you stride up to has like a wicker shield that sort of raises and a tiny dagger, and you just hit it, and the wicker shield sort of like collapses and then is forced through the face of the goblin. So it's like a weird thing where, like, instead of a head now, it's just this folded wicker shield sticking out from between its shoulders. It stays for a moment, and it falls over.
That's brutal. Well, I guess if it worked the first time, it might work the second time. Back at Mirror's Goblin again.
Alright, look at the next one. It's like, oh. Alright, give me an attack roll.
18.
That's it.
Nice. Damage. 9.
9. Alright. Almost the same thing happens, only this one doesn't have a shield, just like it raises an arm and you cut the arm in half and looks at it. blood spurting out, and then just like poke him so he falls over. It just lies there,
Nice.
looking up at the sky, and you can see he's not dead, but he's going to die soon. Do you have more attacks?
I do. What?
Do you have more attacks?
No, I don't think I do. Do I have 2? Yeah, I only have 2.
Alright. Then, Brad Scratch. You see Besroga waiting and just start cutting these goblins down. Blood spraying all over her face. Just a passive expression as you were carving them.
Yeah.
I'm just bored.
Where is Berthroga compared to my sight? Is she
So,
right in front of me or on my side?
So I think you step like to the side to get behind a bush. So she's sort of like maybe about 30 feet ahead of you, slightly to the right.
Okay. Because I take out I have my longbow, and then I just poke my hands outside of the bush with one of my eyes and draw my bow and try to shoot.
All right.
Just
give me an attack roll.
That is 19. I crit.
Well,
All
I
right.
was about to say, so you can roll the same time because you have advantage because you are hidden, but I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I crit.
All right. Do you also have what are you? Are you a rogue? I always forget.
She's a fighter, champion,
Fine.
Yeah.
dex fighter.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Okay. How do I do it then when I crit?
So you roll your damage die twice,
Yeah. Okay.
and then add your modifiers.
Yeah. Just one time or both.
Just once. So it's 2d8 plus your dexterity.
Yeah. Okay. So 10, 16.
16 damage.
Yes.
You hit one of the goblins in the chest, and the force from an arrow just picks it off the ground, lifts it up, and skewers it to the side of a tree. And so tries to pull out the arrow, and then it succeeds, and it just falls down, turns in the air, and breaks its neck on the fall.
Damn. Nice. Yeah, that's what I want to do right now.
All right. You are level 5, correct?
Yes.
So you should have an extra attack
Do I?
as a fighter.
Yeah. You do indeed.
I mean, you don't have to use it.
Oh no, the action search or
No, you just have an
just
extra
have
attack.
extra attack.
oh,
You
I
can attack
do.
twice.
Okay, then I'll do it again.
It's like a shadows die twice, goblins die twice, or something.
Oh shit.
So when you say you do it again, are you shooting the same goblin or?
No,
Ah,
but I think it's a miss because I rolled 3 now. So
Well,
hold on. 9.
no. So you're so surprised. Oh god, that's brutal when it's pinned to the tree and then pulls out the arrow and falls down, breaks it. Oh jeez, that's so brutal. So you're sort of you're distracted a bit when you shoot the second arrow.
Yeah.
And it just flies over the head of one of them. One of the other goblins sort of trying to fit an arrow into his bow and knock it on the string, dropping the arrow and picking it up again. Balthazar,
hell yeah.
you've seen all this happen.
So some of the goblins had bows, or
Yes, you can see one of them has a bow, one of them has a great axe that is sort of struggling with, and then 3 of them are sort of lying on the ground, fumbling around because they fumbled their initiative so badly.
I think
They're
I'll
their shoelaces tied together.
I think I'll just go for the guy with the bow,
All right,
with a firebolt.
very good.
Let's see. 18.
Hey, nice.
That hits. Now let's have that sick fire damage.
Well, 11.
11.
Yeah.
You hit him, and it's spun around, smoke billowing from his shoulder, so it's turns into a tiny tornado. And when he stops spinning, He's just like a charred corpse.
That works.
Nice.
I'll just stay where I am. So that's it for me.
All right. Two of the goblins have sort of like just seen this barrage, people getting cut down around them, arrows flying, and then look at each other. Then they grab each other's hands, and then the high five.
But
Take the sword and just rush the throat out.
Balthazar is slowly remembering the last time he fought goblins.
The first attack is 21, and the second one is 15. Do they hit?
Is that the two?
So your armor class.
It's 14, so they hit.
All right. So the first one hits you for 5 slashing damage as it comes in, just cuts your knee or something like that.
Okay, so
And the other one jumps up. It doesn't really add anything to its attack, but jumps up and then hits you in the arm for another 4 slashing damage.
So a total of 4 because I'm raging.
Well, did you specify that you were raging?
Well, I said that I was raging then.
Well, you had to say it specifically. But if you meant raging by being angry, then I guess that counts. If that's what you meant. I mean, in the other group, we call it
it's
when
fine.
Jürgen flips his shit.
I'll
That
just
counts.
take the 9 damage and then rage my next turn.
Okay.
Now I have a
then-
reason because they hit me.
Yeah, and now the one with the great axe has seen, they have drawn blood, and he's encouraged and drags this heavy axe towards you. And then he hefts it, swings it. So that is a 10. So he misses. So it comes at you, but it's super slow, and you can see it coming from miles away, and you just take a step to the side. And it hits the ground. Instead of like holding on to the handle so his feet aren't touching the ground, they're sort of just spinning. It looks at you, sorry. Then Gerbalust wades into combat, swings his sword, and misses the goblin.
Nice.
Wow, they are so quick! And then
Yes.
the 3 goblins lying on the ground, just struggling, finally get back to their feet, look around, see what is going on, and well, the Throgar and Gerbalust are the closest ones, so 2 of them goes for the Throgar. One rolls a 23, and the other one rolls a natural 1.
Okay.
So the one that hits you for 8 slashing damage as it rushes in, pushes the guy who's still holding on to the axe aside, and then just hits you in the
Well,
stomach.
that was a lot of my health.
Then the other one takes his sword, just looks at you like madness in its eyes, throws the sword, and just like goes miles away, just sails into a bush somewhere nearby.
Nice.
And he picks up a rock. And the third one goes for Gerbalust and hits for another 8 damage. Good. Then, Bethroga, it is your turn again.
Well, now I'm definitely raging.
How dare they?
Fuck those guys. I think I'm just gonna like try to kill the one with the great axe.
But you still hang on to it, the handle, and just looks at you as you raise your own axe.
Such an amateur. Such an amateur. Serves to die, clearly. And I'm pretty sure I hit. That's 26. Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah,
hit.
you hit. Let's see how much damage that
Let's
does.
see, damage. Oh, that's really nice. And I was rating, so that's +2, so that's 17 damage.
So you swing the axe and just like cut him in half. He's still holding
Yeah.
on to the hand, and then just like stomach, gets cut off, like the lower part of his body, and all the entrails and organs starts to just spill out, and he's looking down and it just starts crying.
Crying while he's split in half.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna do that again to the next goblin. At least have a very hack and slash style of attacking.
You could take one of the goblins and put them up on the handle so they hang, and then do the same thing.
Yeah. That probably doesn't hit. That's 12.
No, so you swing your great axe, and this goblin just like draws another dagger and then parries. Ching! Ha-ha! And then high fives one next to it. Yeah!
Okay, let's do it with a dagger.
Oh.
Alright, so that was Bethrogar. Bright Scratch.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
I run out of the bush, out of hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to. How many goblins are near Bethrogar right now?
So 2 down here, then these 2, so there are 4 close by. Then there's another one nearby, but it's engaged with a Gerbalicht.
Okay. So I just try to run up to 2 of them with my rapiers and try to like stab.
So you're like flanking around the side, then coming onto the 2 of them. Your bow, who knows where it goes, but suddenly you have rapiers in your hands. They like shoot out and you grab.
Yes.
All right.
So
oh my god.
Crit on the first one.
Nice.
Oh,
So
yeah.
crit on these because it doesn't take a lot to kill them.
1, 2. Well, you still have to roll to see if you kill it.
No, and 15.
That's a hit.
20 on
That's
a 12. Yep.
Right.
Okay, so I roll 3 d8s now.
So when you
I crit on the first one.
Yeah, so roll 2 d8 plus your dexterity modifier on the first goblin, and then 1 d8 on the other one.
Okay.
Unless you are focusing both attacks on one goblin.
15.
15 damage.
Yeah. And then 1 extra.
Yes.
5. So
5.
20.
20 damage.
Isn't it? 15 first
What?
with the modifier.
Oh yeah, 15 on the first attack. The crit.
Was that the attack roll?
What attack roll?
The damage on the crit was 15.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
And then 5 on the other one.
Yeah.
So 5 damage total? Or did you roll 5?
I rolled 5 on the second attack.
Alright.
Or
so,
like the second rapier thingy.
Alright. Oh yeah, and you don't add your modifier to that unless you have a dual
Yeah.
stuff.
Which
And you don't?
you do, don't you?
You do?
Do I?
I think.
Oh, confusion. I never do this, just so you guys know.
Do you have the duelist thing for fighters?
Fighting style 2 weapon.
Yeah, 2
Sounds
weapon
like
fight.
it. Alright.
Yeah.
And then you add your dexterity. Alright, so you do kill. So you just run up. So Bethrogar, you see Brightscape appear behind them, look down at the goblins, then the rapiers lifts them up and just like wailing them around, blood spraying everywhere, and then whoosh, just throw them off into a bush. So yeah, is there anything else you want to do apart from killing these? So technically you have another attack because that was one attack, then a bonus attack, and then your extra attack.
Yeah, I'll just. But wait, am I close enough to attack another goblin? Okay,
Right.
Then I'll try with the rapiers again.
No, kill them.
Just walking in.
So no, I didn't hit on the first one because I rolled a 2.
But you can't do double attack on the second one, as far as I believe.
No, so
Because it requires a bonus action.
no, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't hit
that's true.
on the second.
Just checking extra attack. That's what to do. Yeah. And that didn't hit. So you wait and kill one, kill the other one, then you stab it. But you hit like it's a leather tunic, and underneath the leather, it's full of stones, pebbles. You can't get through. What the heck? So, Balthazar.
Yes.
3 goblins left.
I will do another firebolt at the one who's engaged with Gerbalust.
Very good.
19.
That's a hit.
$17 damage.
Jesus. Like with your fireballs, they can either be like, it's such a wide spectrum of damage you can do.
Yeah,
So
it
can
really
be
is.
super shitty or pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this was in the pretty cool end of the spectrum.
It
So
can
the
be-
fireball flies in through Gerbalust's legs, hits the goblin, it just spins slow motion in the air. Fire coming from his eyes.
Jesus.
And he lands a charred corpse.
I'll start just slowly moving my way towards the people. Not all the way up there, but just out of the forest house and just into the clearing.
Very good.
Just peek from behind the tree, like, hello.
Emerge from the tree with your golden armor and all the red stuff.
Here I am.
All right. The 2 remaining goblins. They have a choice to make. A life choice. They look at each other. Then they high five. And then they start doing the most amazing dance you've ever seen with their daggers.
Oh no.
And they back away, slowly, disengaging from the fight, and then turn around and start running back up the mound.
I try to shoot one of them.
It's not your turn yet. It's
Oh,
Gerbalust. It's like, try to get away, children! And he throws his sword at one of them, and hits.
Oh god.
But only wounds. So that is plus 2. So he throws his sword, hits it in the back, and sort of like stumbles for a moment, then realizes it's still alive, and then keeps running with the sword sticking out of its back.
What?
Bethroga. The 2 remaining goblins are retreating.
I throw a javelin at one of them.
Right. Make an attack roll.
Okay.
Everyone's throwing their weapons.
What modifier is that?
So you can choose either strength or dexterity.
Well, strength was my best, so that's a strength modifier. Okay, that's 24.
And just whoosh, throws a javelin. Let's see how much damage it does.
A javelin, that's a d6, right?
Yes.
That's strength. So, and that's my strength modifier. I add to that as well.
Indeed.
Does the rage bonus also like go for like thrown? No, wait, that's only handheld weapon. Yeah. So that is 9 damage.
Very good. Are you aiming for the one that has been hit by the sword, or the one that is not wounded?
Well, let's just aim for the one that doesn't already have a sword in its back.
All right. You hit it in the neck, and the head almost comes off, and then it just falls and starts rolling back down the hill towards you. So this
Nice.
javelin sort of like awkwardly sticking out as it turns. And the other one looks down and keeps running. Bright Scratch, what do you want to
Yes.
do?
How far away is it?
It is retreating, so it's about 60 feet away.
Okay.
Well, more like 30 actually, because it couldn't dash.
I find my magic longbow that suddenly appears in my.
Throw up the swords and then land.
It's like Skyrim.
And I draw my longbow. Come on. 3rd time critting.
Is it on a 19 again?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You don't need to roll damage. You just like You take the bow, and then you turn your back to it and sort of like shoot over you, like trick shot. And the arrow goes up, and people are like, it's never gonna hit. And then slowly arcs down. And then as it goes towards the ground, it sort of like levels off, coming after the goblin, and sort of like, tries to run around a tree, but the arrow falls around, tries to dodge, weave, dodge under like a fallen log, jump over some rocks, the arrow just and then turns around and just sighs, and then poof, its head explodes. You don't see it because it ran so far away, you just hear in the distance. And then after a moment, the arrow flies back and lands in your quiver.
Oh, damn.
Alright.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
Pretty much.
Just whistle.
I'm a fan.
So there are a lot of dead goblins around in front of you. There's a lot of blood on the ground, on your faces, on your weapons. Gribbelusht is sort of like looking at you, the Throgar. Did you have to shoot him so far away? Now I had to fight my sword. And just like wades into the trees.
Mm.
Well, that definitely works.
That was fun.
Yeah, brings back memories.
Memories.
Nice memories.
I've fought goblins with a party before.
Aha.
It's a while ago.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Should we loot them? Is there anything to loot?
You can take a look.
Yeah. I try to see if I can find anything on them.
Alright, you search, and one of them has 4 silver pieces on it.
dear
Ooh.
God.
And the others in total has 93 silver pieces. And then one of them has a small copper statue that looks like could be a dragon, it could be a troll. It's difficult to say. It's very crude handiwork. Then of course all their weapons. Flint daggers, food, skin of wine.
Ooh.
Why? Ooh.
Best Droga, do you want a wine?
Oh!
Smell it. It smells sort of like in between wine and vinegar.
I just suddenly just... Not even I would drink that.
And Gribbelusht emerges from the trees with a sword, sort of mumbling to himself,
You,
wiping the blood off the blade.
you ready to go?
It's...
I suppose we should continue.
Yep. I should.
Alright,
Who wants to
So
lead
we
the way?
start.
Because I shouldn't.
good point.
Wait, was it Dinok that had the vision thing?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but-
Peter sort of like emerges from the backline. A bit confused.
Well, right now we're just doing the work for the centaurs, right? Not the vision.
Oh yeah. But it's the same direction. I think. I am confused now. Killing those goblins.
So life is so simple when you're killing goblins, and then when you stop killing them,
What
the bubble
happened?
burst. You have to relate to life once more.
I think we should just continue.
Clear this place out.
Let's continue.
I start walking.
Alright, so you start walking up the mound. As you move up, you can see there are small structures among the trees. There's a campfire over there, like a lean-to made of animal hides, and like a crude chest over there with some bones and various bits and bobs, just lying around. Useless crap. Then you get to a point where you can see the top of the mound clearly, and there's this stone arc standing at the top with carvings all the way around, weird letters or symbols you don't understand, presumably.
Or do I?
But maybe Balthasar do.
If it's an actual language, then I can read it.
Is.
Alright. I have Eyes of the Runekeeper, so.
Alright. You look up and your third eye just opens up for a moment, and you look at it. And these are words. They're sort of like kanji. If you take it out of context, it makes really weird sentences. But sort of the gist of it is like a place of power, place of nature, a place where things meet. And it ends with a warning to towards strangers, outsiders.
Interesting. Do I know which language it is? I probably don't. I can just read it.
Yeah. Well, you can make a history check. Maybe you encountered it in the library.
Yeah, true. Let's see. History. Nope. 5.
You understand it, but you don't know.
But I don't know what it is.
So, shall we just continue in? Or continue?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, it's just continue.
All right.
Do you know what's like standing? Does anyone know what's the print on the wall or whatever it is?
Well, I'm assuming it's on like the actual structure that's here, right? I assume this might be something the centaurs might have written, since this is their home.
Yeah.
It's a warning, and just for strangers to keep out. But since we're hired by them, then we're probably fine.
Yeah.
Unless the goblins wrote that. I actually don't know which language it is. I can just read it. It's a weird thing. I can explain later. It's
just that we have to just be on guard, I think.
It's worked well so far.
Yeah.
All right. So you move further up, and you can see this is it bears the marks of some kind of sacred place with other stones like standing with the inscriptions on them, and they basically reflect the message that was written on the ark. But you also see all these goblin abodes, so it seems like the goblins are like taking over the place, and they made it their home. Everyone make perception checks.
Alright. Nope.
Ugh.
6.
Said that.
Sorry. One.
All right.
Yes,
So you're like, these are nice structures. Look at these, and Benton's like pointing out some of the marks. This one says blah 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 blah. And Kirby's like, it's very interesting. But Bright Scratch, you hear something. You can hear sounds coming from some of the tents, like tiny voice lines, and then like tiny.
Okay.
And you hear it from that tent over there, that tent over there. It's kind of like all around you.
Are they just tents, all of the goblins stuff? Like the buildings they've made? Are they just...
Yeah, they're like sticks with the animal hides or branches with a lot of leaves on them, just all over the place.
That's all I need to know. That's flammable.
It is flammable.
I can hear goblins.
Where?
All around us.
In the tents?
Yes.
Point 1 out.
I just point one direction or one.
Firebolt.
Let's just have an attack roll in case for the comedy value of you missing a huge tent.
Oh.
Fireball.
Well, 14.
14, yeah, you hit it. Poof, flies in through what could be the door. There's sort of like another piece of hide hanging in front of it. You hear something smashing inside, and then screams, "Ah, ah, ah!" And already flames start to pour out of all the small cracks and gaps in the tent. And then there's one goblin running out with a goblin baby in his hands, completely engulfed in flames, lifting it up and then just collapsing. And it collapses in such a way that she drops the baby and it falls into a cauldron that's standing next to the tent. And then the other one comes out with engulfed in flames. It falls into the cauldron. Just two legs sticking out of it. And then the tent just collapses, sending sparks into the air.
I just look at Balthazar like, damn!
Not to sound insane, but that also brings back memories.
Yes. I don't remember, were you the group that spared the baby?
Yeah, Galad brought him and wanted to raise him as his own.
Oh, that's nice. Not this one though. Out of all the tents, goblins start to run out. Some of them carrying their belongings, some of them carrying babies, just running around. There's like tiny dogs running between their legs, and they're just like, none of them are actually attacking you. They're just like rushing, like spreading apart, just filing out, getting away from you. Terror in the voices.
They probably don't understand common, do they?
Well, who knows?
I use thaumaturgy to make my voice booming and just yell, "Leave here and never return."
Your voice booming out among the trees. You think this could be heard from miles away?
Oh god.
White forest.
Oh no.
And you can see some of them just look at you and then just turn around and just start bolting for the nearby trees. And as the throng sort of like empties out a bit, you can see one of them just standing there while everyone else is running, looking down at the cauldron with his feet sticking out, holding a sword in one hand. And then looks up at you, and you can see that tears running down green cheeks. And there's determination and resignation. There's so much going on in those eyes. You can make an insight check if you want to see if you can register.
Yes, please.
All the details.
This might sound sad, but Balthazar might actually know what this motherfucker's feeling.
Oh.
No! Damn it, he doesn't. 5.
5. Yeah, you see he's obviously angry or upset or something. Something. And he comes towards you. Stepping as if in a trance.
Well, I started it. I better finish it as well. You know what? This worked fine so far. Firebolt.
Oh. Make an attack roll.
18.
18, yeah. Give me some damage.
14.
He runs towards you. He can see you starting to cast your spell, weaving your arms. The flames start to emerge amongst your fingers, forming into this bolt in front of you. He knows what's going on. He starts running towards you. Suddenly, all the doubt, everything that just drops away is just determination and a cold sense of like a hunter and prey. He runs towards you. He sees the fireball starting to form. He gets ready to leap. You throw it. He jumps, but then he sort of like stumbles. He drops on his knees, and the fireball just hits him in the face. He's thrown backwards, his sword flying. He drops down to the ground, looking over at you, and then the sword falls down, piercing his chest.
Oh god.
It's better for him that way.
I guess.
Then you hear a voice coming from the top of the mound.
You leave, or you will not leave here alive.
Also booming, but not like booming, more like screeching, like echoing sharply out among the trees.
Huh.
Job's not over yet, then.
Nope. I start running up.
All right. You run.
Like I take my longbow back, and then I just got down on all of my fours and starts like running.
Oh shit! You really realize now all these huge trees, and you have 2 rapiers. You could totally go Attack on Titan if you had like a grappling hook or something.
I'll
the
follow,
snow-
I guess. Just like, oh, guess we're running.
Alright, so Grabbalista like looks around.
You just see me.
Alright, you get to the top of the mound, and you get a clear look of the sort of like the summit with the huge stone arc, and you can see in front of the arc there's like a spread of variously colored stones, bowls with various plants in them, powdered, maybe spices or some other different stuff, crystals lying here and there, and in the middle of this crazy pattern, there are 2 goblins standing with like the usual dirty goblin clothes, but they both have pointy black hats. And as you get to the summit, they hold both their hands up, and their voices boom out to you.
Stop! This is your last warning you're gonna get!
Okay.
I just smile at them.
You better turn around before it's too late!
Nope. Not turning around.
But you can walk backwards away from here! It's not too late!
Do
Can
they,
I ask them what they mean?
Oh sure, you are there. You have a mouth. You can.
Can I just go What do you mean about that? What is there if we go further?
Oh, you will see! Like the centaurs, you will see! Don't say we haven't warned you!
I need you to be more specific than that.
Well, if you wait just a moment, you will see for yourself.
Should we wait a moment?
I don't think that'll help us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get ready.
Do any of them look tougher than the other, or are they
No,
about the same?
just like your regular goblins, but they have these pointy black hats.
Can I
Okay.
just swing an axe at one of them?
Well, you step forward, and one of them just raises his hand more desperately.
Wait!
No.
You want to carry on?
What do you want to say?
Please.
You have 2 seconds.
Alright, that's all we need. And then they just start running towards the arc. But before they get there, a green wave of light comes out of the arc. Sort of knocks them off their feet and hits this weird pattern of stuff they made on the ground. And they look up. And then one of them just sort of like slaps the other. And they say something in Goblin. I don't suppose any one of you speak Goblin.
Oh.
It's like, then there's like a hand made of mold and vines and leaves that rise out of the ground, grabs one of them and just pulls it down and disappears into the ground. And the other goblin,
Ah! I told you! You won't regret this!
and starts just getting out of there. And the whole circle of shit that they laid out starts rising. And it looks like the undergrowth has come alive, basically. Leaves, pine cones, branches, twigs, bound together by this weird green, smelly, decayed stuff. And it rises up, and there's the suggestion of a head, the suggestion of a huge mouth. One arm splits from the central mass, another. And you can see the body of the goblin with the black hat sort of like turns around inside, but it's still alive, sort of like its face emerging for a moment. You are infrared! You're infrared! And then disappears back into this Mars.
Nice.
Oh well.
Then
Oh well.
it takes a step towards you. And birds all around you in the treetops take flight. Roll initiative.
Good times.
Ooh. 8.
8.
13.
Oh, it's a minus. Alright, Ithroga, 8. Bright Scratch, 13.
Yes, I'm just gonna turn on some lights.
Balthazar,
18.
how much?
18.
18. And Gerald,
Better.
that's a 5. Nothing suspicious here. Alright, so we have Balthazar with an 18 at the top. And then we have Right Scratch with a 13. Then someone else. Then someone else entirely. And here we go. Look at what's there. Alright. So Balthazar, you can see this huge thing. It's pretty large. It is it's about the size of a small elephant on 2 legs, rising up, and it has arms, it has hands, but the hands are sort of like made of vines and like almost tentacles made of rotting organic material. They stretch out, forming almost whip-like arms. Here and there, there's a bright flower growing, and then the petals fall off, and another one sprouts out here, and so it's just this mass of organic, moldering compost thing that is making its way towards you.
Alright.
What do you want to do?
Let's hope this works. Guiding bolt.
Interesting choice.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Well, let's see if it hits. Ooh, 16.
16. It hits. So you form this bolt of a bright glowing light in front of you.
I got my spells.
Much like you do with the firebolt, and then boom,
My spells
shoot at it.
are 3rd level, so alright, this is a lot of dice. Maybe I should just. Maybe this is easy actually. Online dice.
Oh man, I can't believe you've done that.
There's too many of them.
Master Dice Roller, there are too many of them.
Okay,
What are you going
that
to
was
do?
pretty shit.
We're going to do this.
Damn it. Well, yeah, I don't have all my other dice. Shit. Well, yeah, I understand why you don't want to use this, because this is pretty shit. 20?
20?
20 damage.
Jesus. Alright.
That's not a lot for a 66.
Okay. Shit. Math in this heat. Alright, so you hit it, and there's a huge chunk of this material. It's just blasted off. And it rains down upon the arc behind it.
And the next person who hits it has advantage.
Good to know, good to know. Is there anything else you want to do?
Probably just, is it looking at me?
It wasn't. Now it's slowly turning its head towards you.
I'll just take a few steps back. Just like maybe 15 feet. Just
one step, or maybe 15 steps.
yeah.
Just 1 or 15.
Okay.
That classic anime where it's sort of like
Yeah.
in the background. Very good. So a bright scratch. You are up.
I'll just try and shoot with my longbow,
Alright.
I guess.
With advantage
Find
then.
an arrow. With that.
Nice. Mhm. 23.
That's a hit. So you just unleash the arrow and it flies in and just sinks into somewhere inside this mast.
7.
7 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And then can I use my action surge as well?
Yeah, it's a bonus action as far as I remember.
You also just have another attack, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep.
I mean, you can still use
It's
action
quite
surge,
important.
then you just have one more.
Yeah.
Or do you have 2 more?
So
I don't know how it works.
I think we discussed that. I think it's only one more
Okay.
because otherwise it might be
so
unbalanced.
action surge and then one more attack after that.
Yeah, so,
So-
if
so
you
you
use
can
action
do-
surge, you have 2 more attacks.
2 more attacks, okay. So 23 again.
That's a hit.
Do you want the damage now?
Yeah, sure.
10.
10 to mark.
And
And the
then
last one.
11.
That doesn't hit. So you shoot your 2 arrows and then you have this surge. I'm not done yet. This is. It really matters now. And then you shoot another arrow, but this one just misses because you're so caught up in the moment of
Yeah.
doing the extra thing. Alright. So 2 arrows hit the mark.
Mm.
Then the goblin with the pointy head that ran away sort of like turns around, just looks alright. It looks alright, and then he casts a firebolt at Balthazar,
What? Damn it!
but it misses
Oh my god.
wildly. So it's like flies into the trees, and there are like a few charred leaves that drop down.
I've been there.
So looks at you. He also does the step back. Alright, then out of the trees, 2 arrows fly, one of them going for bright scratch. And it is 4, 5, 6, 7 piercing damage as one of them just flies down and hits you sort of like in the collarbone. And another one flies down towards Balthazar. And it hits the ground right in front of your feet. And you look up and you can see the 2 goblin warriors sitting in the trees above you, like wearing a leather armor covered in leaves.
Oh.
And then they lean over precariously between the 2 trees and they just about manage a high five. Bethroga, it is your turn.
How far up are the goblin warriors sitting in the tree?
They look to be at least 60 feet up in the trees.
Ah, damn it. Well. Then I guess I'm just going for the monster.
Alright, so look up, do all the calculation, the math.
No, wait for it. I'm not still raging. Then I have to rage again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rekindle your anger.
I rekindle my anger. I rage. Yeah. And
Okay.
I monster. Or whatever it is, the plant, the fungus,
It might be upset if you call it a monster.
the plant person.
Yeah, the dignified plant person.
The dignified,
as you run
specified.
towards it, its mouth opens up and it has like these jagged rocks that just stick up like teeth, but they look more like small tombstones. And this terrible breath just washes out, and you have to fight through the breath as it runs up to it. But yeah, you can make your attacks.
22.
That hits.
Nice.
You just go in and just chop into this thing, and it feels like... It doesn't feel like hitting flesh or bone. It sort of feels like hitting an old tree trunk that has been in the woods for a long time.
16 damage.
16 damage. So you hit it, poof, and it sort of like rears up.
Okay. Great. I hit it again.
Alright, make an attack roll. I mean, it doesn't have a language, so it can't really contribute to the conversation.
That is 19.
19 hits.
It's good to have an axe for chopping this wood.
Oh, yeah. You don't like do the gamer thing. You hit once and then you like spin the axe unnecessarily around your back.
Math. 13 damage.
13. Ooh, that's unlucky damage.
Yeah, that's really unlucky damage.
Alright. Is there anything else you want to do?
I want to go to the bathroom.
Alright, you can do that.
Because
In the
it's
meantime-
hot, drinking a lot of water and I can't control my bladder.
Go into a bush in the forest.
Well, there's one right in front of you.
Monster, and then I immediately go into a bush.
Just run over. Grillbalusht draws his... Well, he has already drawn his sword. He just looks at it. Yeah, foul creature! I will kill you! And he walks up. You are a plant! You should be dead! And he hits it.
Hey.
Yes!
Oh, good damage too. So yeah. Just swings the sword, and green vines and leaves and a bit of like brown fluid flies into the air. Then it is the thing's turn. And it raises both hands. And then slams it down on the Throgon. Or at least tries to. Plus 7, so that's a 16. So both of them hit. So when she gets back, her character's dead.
What?
Let's see how much damage it does. Drop a die, but luckily I have more.
So many dice they roll off the table.
Yeah, it's just spill through my fingers. Here we go. Oh, that's not too bad. That's 8, 14, 19, 23, 27.
Which is then halved.
Which is halved to something.
Third. Is it rounded down or rounded up? I don't know.
And so basically, we will resolve the damage in a moment. But the thing hits Bethroga.
There we go.
Both
Was
hands.
Damage.
Yeah.
Yes, you are taking 27 damage,
Halved.
which is then half because you are raging.
So that is math. 13. That's still really bad.
Yeah. But it's not all, because these hands just like slam down on you, and then they stay there for a moment, and then feel all these vines start like dig into your hair, start to grab your wrists, and then it just like pulls you, and sunlight disappears from you, and you're just assaulted by this smell of decaying organic material as you are engulfed, absorbed into the thing. For a moment, you hear the voice of a goblin. Alright, and the rest you just see Bethroga get pulled in to this thing, and then the arms emerge without Bethroga.
I just disappear. Nice.
So that was the chamber. Then let's have. You see one of the goblins, the one that was absorbed with the hat, emerges for a moment out to the surface. Looks around, tries to cast a fireball at the nearest target, which is I suppose it's Körperlust, and hits for 5 damage.
Ow.
Oh, he's taking a beating.
Is Dinok just hanging out somewhere?
Yeah. Who knows what he's doing? He's like sitting on the ground, as if he's trying to remember something.
Mm.
And then a third arrow flies down from above, aimed at Bright Scratch. What's your armor class?
14.
You take 8 piercing damage. As another arrow flies down and hits you. Good. Then we are back at Balthazar. And hang on a second. Make a speech because I'm just going to refill my glass.
We stand on this now.
I'm gonna do a speech.
Well, then
Wait,
I
is that a goblin?
kill it. Then I suppose I can just.
I wonder if I can just weed whack it from the inside, like just
I guess we'll figure that out on your turn.
take myself out.
Another one bites the dust.
Can I still see the goblin with the hat that threw the fireball at me? The one who
Yes.
ran off to the side. I can still see him.
He's like right over there. You can see he's trying to hide, but his head is sticking out over the rock.
Okay. Is he in cover?
Well, partial cover.
Oh. Doesn't that give?
But it wouldn't take much to just like slide to the side
All right.
and then expose him.
We need someone to focus on the small ones. So you guys try to get her out.
Yep.
And I will slide over and firebolt him back.
Alright, give me an attack roll.
God damn it. That's not very good. 11.
Yeah, you fire your fireball and it hits the rock. Glowing sparks flying all over the place, and sort of like looks around, but there's no one to high five, so just high fives himself.
Memories.
Point of view.
I told you, you should have stayed away.
I'll just. Am I right by one of the trees that the goblins are in?
Well, sure.
I'm just gonna move on the other side of that. From.
You look up.
I mean, yeah, I know he's still there, but.
Alright, so that is your turn. Bright Scratch.
Yes. Can I still see Betroga, or she's just gone?
At the moment, you can't see her. She's been completely engulfed in this creature.
Well, I'll try. Even though I can't see her, I'll try and. Oh, or wait, how far away is the thing from me?
About 20 feet.
Okay, I take up my 50 feet rope and make like a knot and try to like lasso it.
You're
You
like
try to
the Stranger Things one. I'm going in.
Yeah, like no, like I try to swing the rope over and try to give it to Betroga so she can grab it and I can pull her out. If that's possible.
Alright, so just describe to me how you want to do it. Do you want to throw the rope at the creature, or are you gonna like stick it into the side of it, or?
No, like throw it.
Alright, you just throw it and it lands next to the creature.
No, it's a 50 feet rope. Yeah. Isn't the mouth open?
Well, it is open, but you can't see the throw. Oh, you want to throw it inside it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Inside of the monster.
Make an attack roll with dexterity, just to see if you actually hit it.
16.
16. All right. You throw the rope, and the end of it sort of like flies down into the mouth of this creature.
Grab on!
Can I hear anything or see the rope or?
You can hear a faint voice like.
Okay. Can I look around after the rope? Can I see it?
Well, we'll find out on your turn. Because first we have a druid. Sorry, not a druid, a goblin.
A druid.
Who's going to fire a fireball.
That doesn't seem very druidish.
Well, actually, you are behind cover, so it's going to do the same thing. It's going to run out of cover, just try to get around the tree, get a good angle on you, and then fires the fireball. What is your armor class? 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take 3 fire damage. It hits you on the shoulder.
Alright.
Then there are 2 goblins in the trees that are going to fire arrows, but now you know they're coming. So, Bright Scratch.
Yes.
What is your armor class?
14.
14. And they have +4, so it hits.
Damn it.
So you're hit for 7 piercing damage as one of the arrows flies down and hits you. The other one goes to Grbalusht. And he also hits for 3 damage. Grbalusht like, ah! God damn you! Or God damn you! Bahamut, damn you! Then Bethrogar.
Yeah.
You are in this mess and you hear Brightsket's voice calling out to you somewhere very distant. But, I mean, you are currently engaged with being crushed from all sides by these vines and you can't really see anything because there's this... It's just madness. So it's up to you whether you want to do something about it. But, make a Constitution save.
You can do it.
No, wait 2 seconds. Yeah, 15.
15, alright. So you can feel that all this crushing force is like attempting to squeeze the life out of you, but you like push back at it, wedge a foot against one of the vines, and so you're sort of like keeping it at bay for now. You also get a sense that there's not a lot of air inside this creature.
Damn
That
it.
might be a problem in the future. But yeah, you can do.
Can I like try to use my great axe to try and weed whack some of these branches, try to cut it open from the inside?
Sure, make an attack roll. I just have to check. So you are restrained, which means you probably have disadvantage.
Probably.
Attack rolls against advantage. Yes, you have disadvantage, but you can attack.
Okay.
And you have 2 attacks. You're enraged.
Okay, so disadvantage means I have to roll twice and choose the lowest one, right?
Not
So-
to metagame, but you can always recklessly attack. Right?
That's also an option. So when you recklessly attack, you gain advantage on your attack, but then everyone else gains advantage on their attacks against you until it's your turn again.
So that depends on if you get out, if that's actually good.
I think I'm just gonna play it safe, like rolled 11.
It's no time to be reckless. You can hear Balthazar's voice. Be reckless, Bethrogar! Be reckless!
Well, it's still 18, so I assume that.
That works.
That hits.
Okay.
So just sort of like trying to angle the axe and just sort of like punching with the axe head at everything you can get, like basically your hands on inside the creature. This has some damage.
Damage. Math. 14.
14. Very good. So that is good. So you punch it. So you have an extra attack if you want to use that.
Let's just try again. Still with disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Oh. It's good that I'm rolling quite okay. Math. 24.
That's a hit. So just basically punching using the axe head as a knock duster from the inside.
And it's 14 damage again.
14. Very good. So the rest of you can sort of see the creature sort of wobbling about a bit. But that's pretty much it. Then the creature will attack Gerbalist because he's right next to it. First one is a hit. Second one plus 7, so it's 14. That is. So he's wearing leather armor. It is also a hit. So that is 4, 6, 12, 13, 17, 21. Ooh, he's getting there. That's 37 total. All right, and then he is also absorbed. He's like, no, ow, get it off me.
Oh my god.
Then the goblin, the second goblin brute, sort of swims back to the surface and throws a firebolt at Bright Scratch. But it's like it's casting it towards you, but it flies the other direction and knocks its head off. And you can see for a moment, because the head was knocked off and it's sort of like its shirt opened a bit, you can see it's wearing some kind of necklace with a jade amulet at the end. And then another arrow flies down and hits Balthazar. 6 piercing damage.
Alright.
And then it is your turn, Balthazar.
We're getting our ass kicked.
Yep.
And the other goblin that you've been dueling with, sorry. You should have stayed away. If the mound doesn't get you, the green dragon will.
Take a deep breath and sigh, and then I say lowly. So probably no one else can hear, but a certain someone, and it's time. And then my eyes will, the golden in my eyes will expand so it fills the entire.
Look down for a moment,
and then I will sprout my celestial wings. And
wings made of bright white light with a tint of gold in them. And a weird hint of shadows.
Yes. The flavor, I like it.
You hear the voice. It is almost most important to protect those who need it. It comes above everything else, even hiding your true being.
I suppose.
You have chose correctly.
And I will fly. I have 30 feet of flight now. So I'll just fly up into the air, pretty much. Any chance this intimidates the goblins?
Well, you can make an intimidation check if you want to.
I mean, sure.
just suddenly you're flying around, golden light spilling from your eyes.
Oh, I'm actually good at intimidation. Unnatural 20.
Well, you that is good because one rolled a 19, another rolled an 18. So two of them, look, they steal themselves. I mean, these are probably the top dogs of this tribe.
Ah, okay.
But even then, they look at you and these wings and the gold coming from your eyes.
What is this creature? What is this creature?
They high five once, and then they like start to try to knock down out of the trees.
All right.
One of them, the third one, looks at you, and you can just see for a moment there's the slightest moment of doubt, but then he just steals himself. Like the letterbox and just turns all the way down to his eyes.
Which one was that? The druid or
so
one
the
of
last
warriors?
one sitting in the trees with his bow.
Okay.
I call him tough guy 20.
Tough guy 20. Okay. Well, that's an action, so I can't really do any more this time.
But it's pretty.
Looks fancy.
Bright Scratch.
Yes.
You are on the ground. Now also, Grelbalusht has been pulled into this creature, and suddenly Balthasar just sprouted wings and started to fly up.
Yeah.
I think Balthasar has a lot of things to explain.
Yes, it does. Can I see the goblin in the tree?
So you can see the two goblins crawling down the sides of the trees. They're about 30 feet down.
Yeah.
And then you can see the last one that's still standing in his branch, just looking fixedly at the Balthasar, readying another arrow. You can just see in his eyes, this is gonna be some turkey shooting.
I take up my longbow and try to shoot him down.
All right, make an attack roll.
Is it with advantage, or have you seen me?
Well, he knows you're there.
Yeah.
You haven't tried to hide yourself. You've been doing all kinds of rope tricks down on the ground.
No. 15?
That's a hit.
Let's see how tough he is now.
Tough guy 20.
8?
8 damage?
Yeah.
Alright. Your arrow just arcs up, hits him in the chest, and he loses his footing and falls 60 feet, and then just hits the ground.
Now he's dead guy 20.
Nice.
I'll rename him Dead Guy. There you go. Yeah, he's dead.
And then I have an extra.
Yeah.
Right?
You can see the two goblins that are crawling down the tree sort of like stop for a moment, looking at Tough Guy 20.
I try to shoot one of them down. 12?
Doesn't hit. So you shoot an arrow and he sort of crawls around the tree to the other side.
Damn it.
They have extreme
Little spider
strong
fingers.
All right.
So that's what I can do right now.
All right. So Balthasar, you had this duel with this goblin that's throwing fireballs, and it's just looking up at you.
That's some tricks you got there. I hope your wings. You're flying too close to the sky, the sun, with wings, all that kind of stuff.
And then he fires the fireball, and it misses completely.
Jeez.
I tried. I read something once.
Oh, that's surprising for a goblin.
Yes, I suppose it is. But
Yes.
these are strange times.
Then we have two goblins with bows. They get down on the ground, look up, still a bit intimidated, but I mean not so much that they can't still shoot at you. Balthasar. One of them hits you. for 7 piercing damage.
Math. Alright.
Then Bethroga, make a Constitution save.
Oh, please.
Another one.
Why did I close my dice roller?
Combat fail. You had too much faith in your companions.
Apparently. The fuck was my modifier? Oh yeah, 16.
16, that's a hit. Sorry, not a hit. That's a pass.
You hit him with your constitution.
I hit him with my constitution.
Yeah, you pass. So again, you can feel all this crushing force around you, but you are managing to hold it at bay. So you have your action.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the same thing, try to murder it from the inside.
Very good. So yeah. Some attack rolls with disadvantage.
What's the most? Math. 19.
That's a hit.
Where's my D12? There it is.
It's in the ether.
Oh, that's actually pretty nice. Yeah. And I'm still raging, right?
Yes.
17.
17 Jesus. Alright.
Really want to get out.
Oops. You hit it and you can just feel that you literally struck a nerve somewhere. It's sort of like shuddering around you. You can hear the sound coming from all over this creature. It's still holding together, but it's starting to shake a bit. And you can see for just a moment some sunlight emerging as some of it parts away and then tries to close again. So yeah. Want to make another attack?
I want to recklessly attack this time.
Oh, alright. Then it cancels out, so you just... So
What
it's just
does it do exactly?
So recklessly attacking gives you advantage on your attack.
Nice. So I get rid of the disadvantage. Yes. Cool. Oh, that's okay. Okay.
I will just add this attack to reckless, because I always forget.
21.
It's
Yeah.
enough. It's enough. You hit.
I managed! And D12. That is... I hate
sound of math. Math in 30 degrees.
12 damage. 12 damage.
12 damage?
Yeah.
Alright. You find another nerve and you just pull it towards you and just slice it on the axe, and it feels like something is just collapsing around you. It feels like the classic, the place is about to self-destruct slowly, but it's still just about holding itself together.
Damn it.
And then you can see like sunlight coming in from there, and you can see a rope hanging down from somewhere above you. And then you can see there's this weird green throbbing thing that might be its heart. It's sort of like, and there's green light emanating from it. But that was your turn. You also see the goblin druid sort of like floating around in there, and he looks down at you, and he like swims down towards you, and it appears it's trying to like strangle you. Even with advantage, he sort of like tries to grab you, but he's like turned around by some of the brown fluid, and he just starts to spin. And he loses control and he disappears into maybe its leg or something. You don't know where. Balthazar.
Yes.
It's amazing you have only killed one goblin so far in this fight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Help!
Oh yeah, and of course you can see the mound, the shambling mound sort of like just start to fall apart. but you think it's just about holding itself together. For a moment, you get a glimpse of Bethroga's red hair.
Help!
In that case, a good old firebolt to the face on the big one.
Well, let's see if you hit.
24.
24, that's a hit. You don't need to roll damage. How do you want to destroy it?
Woo!
Well, can I just like basically hit its head with the firebolt, and then from there it just starts like just revealing everyone who's inside.
It's like it collapses like the Tower of Barad-dûr, but slowly collapsing and brown fluid just splashing to all the sides, and then it just falls apart, and Bethroga's standing there just covered in stinking brown compost. And also the goblin with the, well, he lost his hat, but he's also standing there looking a bit as this thing just rains down all around you.
And Grubbalusht as well as.
Oh yeah, and Grubbalusht. He's like
so many people
throwing up on the
inside
ground.
that.
So Bethroga, you are, the thing explodes around you. You don't know if you did it or if it was just finally collapsing under the strain. But you see above you, a Balthasar is hanging in the air with these huge glowing wings just gently holding him aloft. His eyes filled with golden light.
I think I missed something.
We'll talk about it later.
I'm used to missing things and just showing up in situations I don't understand at all.
Alright, then we don't need to talk about it later.
I really want to talk about this later.
Goblins.
Well, you have a chance, Bright Scratch, because it's your turn.
Oh.
You can spend it just talking about it.
No, we have to.
Well,
Kill the goblins!
How far away am I from the goblin that was inside of the tree thingy in the thing?
So you didn't engage the thing in melee, so you're about maybe 20 feet away.
I shoot it.
He's still staying there, trying to wipe the muck off his face, and then the first thing he sees is you standing there with an arrow on your bow.
18.
That's a hit.
7.
7 damage. All right.
Yeah. And then...
he sees you with the bow and the arrow, and that's the last thing he sees.
Oh.
Keels over, falls down into the pile, or like the puddle that Grubbalusht is making. Disgusting! Get this off me! So there is another goblin with the pointy hat, and then 2 other goblins.
I try to shoot the one with the pointy hat.
Alright, make an attack roll.
19.
19, that's a hit.
And 6.
6 damage. Alright, you hit him in the stomach, and he sort of keels over, throwing up some blood, but then he rises back again, and then wipes the blood off his mouth.
It takes more to break me down. The power of Enter Hammer and a half flows through me.
And then it's his turn. Can you guess what he's going to do?
The old firebolt. Or the old running. That's the classic goblin strategy.
He is going to lift off the ground.
Fucking duel.
Oh my
Slowly
god.
rising up into the air. And you notice there's a rope from his back, like going up behind him.
Let's finish
Yes! And he casts a firebolt at you, Balthazar. And he hits for 5 fire damage.
Alright.
And like,
Focus the wizard! Focus the wizard!
and the 2 goblins with the bows, Red Lord! Shoot their bows up at you. One of them misses you, the other one hits you for 5 piercing damage.
Alright.
Arrows just streaking up towards you. Betroga,
Yes.
you're back on your feet. You are outside in the fresh air, standing in a pile of stinking compost.
Nice.
Good times.
There's no place like this.
Like, I'm seeing things around me, right? I'm not like, I don't have goo in my eyes.
No, you just like wipe them, and then you see another, like one of the goblins have like risen to the air and shooting fireballs at Balthazar, and the other 2 goblins are shooting down, shooting up at him.
Can I shoot a javelin at the goblin shooting fire?
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
Yeah. You don't need to roll damage here. Only one
Okay, he's dead.
hit point. You just throw it, and it's like a pinata you hit, and it's so like it gets hit, and his stomach just spills open, just intestines and stuff spilling out, and he's like swings around like one of those what are they called? Barrels, fastelavns. So and he like swings up there, just with a weird expression, and his head falls off. Falls down, lands point down, so it's like a cone, and then some of his blood spills down to the head. So that was one attack.
Oh yeah, I have more. Right. I assume I picked my other javelin up early.
Sure.
Yeah. Then I throw that at one of the goblins, like shooting arrows, like night goblin.
Very good.
Whatever they are. A javelin is coming at them.
Gobbos.
Yeah, that is 24.
Yeah, that's it. So
Yeah. Okay, and javelin d6. Ooh. And is it the dexterity modifier or the strength modifier?
you decide.
Okay. Oh yeah, I decided that it's 10.
10. You hit it, and you don't know where it went because it's hit by the javelin that just carried off into the forest.
Okay. Damn it! I lost the javelin.
All right. Then it is Grbalist's turn. And he looks at it. Don't worry, I'll get it for you. And he like runs into the forest after the flying goblin.
Oh, thank you.
Balthazar, your turn. There's one goblin left. And he looks up at you, looks at Betroga, looks at Grbalist that just like waits past him, looks around, looks at all his dead companions, looks at the pinata goblin hanging spilling guts.
Well, let's see if I can actually get something out of this now that there's extra damage on the attack. Firebolt.
Wait! Don't kill me, please! Don't kill me! I'll help you! I'll help you if you don't kill me!
I land in front of him.
He throws down his bow.
Look, see, I can help you.
You haven't
We can be
proven that
friends.
yet. In what way can you help us?
I can kill your enemies.
Just kill him.
I can sing.
Kill him.
Go for it.
Alright.
He steps back there.
Now listen closely. Here's a little lesson in trickery. This is going down in history. If you want to be a goblin #1, you have to chase an adventurer on the run. And then, whoa, just follow my moves and sneak around. He hides behind a bush. Be careful not to make a sound. And then Gribblis comes back, just steps on that path. Don't touch that.
I stab him through the mouth with my spear.
Alright.
I at least try to.
Make an attack roll.
Oh, God, this is so
No.
great.
9.
9, you try, but he's like so caught up in the dance that he doesn't even realize you're trying to kill him. Just flies past, like, what I just found. When I say go, be ready to throw. Go! And then throws it up and like lands on himself. Oh, on him, not me. Let's have something else.
Well, this is your party, so if you want him to join, then I just step aside if any of the others want to take a shot.
Yeah. Trash shots. It is your turn.
I take my longbow out for this. Is he still dancing?
It's like
This is when we all miss.
15.
Oh,
15. That's a hit. Give it some damage. Like, now watch and learn.
7.
You slip and slide in this, and then you just hit him through the throat. And just dies in this puddle of his own blood.
I couldn't stand it anymore.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
Is there any more goblins around now?
No, they're all dead.
Okay.
I just let my wings disappear.
Now, Balthazar.
And so
hell?
you hear a voice in your head, Basil. Sometimes it is good to take a life in service of helping others, but sometimes it is also valuable to know when not to take a life.
You really have all the lessons, don't you?
That's all I can do.
That's true. You're still better than the old one.
He doesn't reply.
Well,
So,
looting?
yeah, but the wings? What?
How?
I'm not sure exactly. This is very new to me. Let's say that.
So you suddenly just grew wings?
Well, I've done it once before.
Okay.
One?
But
But
it's good to know
still very
that you have
new
it.
to me. Yeah,
I think
well,
she was full.
I'm
I
really
wrote
tired
it
now, so I certainly can't do it before I take a rest.
I try to high five with Balthazar.
My hand doesn't go up.
I grab his hand and like.
And
you
I just-
deserve that high five.
I just another classic sigh. And then I go and check if the goblins had anything. I don't know if I saw the one with the jade necklace, I think you described, but
Well, you certainly do now, as you look over them. They don't have anything of value. So the only thing that really sticks out is this like necklace or like pendant with this jade amulet. It looks like a 5-headed dragon that is sort of curled around a sun, made in polished jade.
I suppose, I mean, I haven't been in this world in this time for very long, let's say that. But would I still know who Tiamat is? I mean, she was still a guard back then, right? And I would certainly have heard of her now.
Yeah, probably. You went into jail for not knowing who she is, so you probably know.
Yeah.
Well, Does it seem magical in any way? Can I tell? Or do I have to use an identifier or something like that?
Yeah, you need to cast a spell for
Alright,
that.
well, I don't have that spell, so let's just...
But you can make an Arcana check to see if you know anything about any spell or ritual that requires an amulet such as this.
Sure. I don't. 8.
I mean, it's an amulet.
It's Jade.
You can make a religion check if you want to be certain it is Tiamat.
Hell yeah. All the checks.
Just pump it for information. Insight check.
15.
Is it smiling?
15, so I assume I know.
Yeah, you're pretty sure this is Tiamat. You can see all the heads are slightly different, so it corresponds with all the different colored dragon heads that Tiamat is known to possess.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know the goblins also worshipped Tiamat. Well, I'll keep it. If nothing else, it can be sold.
Yeah.
So I'll just grab that.
Slide in your pocket.
I go and grab my rope again and like.
Like one end is just disgusting with this sticky compost.
Yeah, I'll wash it later.
And also Goblins returns from the forest carrying Bethroga's javelin.
Oh.
Here we go. He flew very far.
Thank you. Take the javelin back and put it wherever all of my weapons are.
Just like you put it on the back and just disappears.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to do here?
Do you think this was the centaur's problem? Like, big green monster?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Well,
I think in general just the goblins, and it looks pretty barren now.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But didn't they say that they sent some scouts that didn't return? So they still around?
Well, they might be dead, but we can check. Sure. Can I still see down to the tents?
Yeah, we can still.
The fire didn't spread, did it?
No, it's it's a bit damp, humid, and like it's a lush green forest, so it's not going to start a wildfire.
Okay, just to make sure.
But there's like a plume of smoke gently rising up from the destroyed tent.
Mm.
But you can make investigation checks if you want to search the place to see what happened. If you can find any clues about the centaurs.
I'd like to.
I would like to too.
Same here.
9.
Everyone. Unnatural 20.
Very good.
18.
18. And Balthazar?
9.
9. Alright, so you just you start looking around. You're a bit fascinated with the amulet. You other two, you are very effective actually. You start just systematically going through all the stuff. Bethroga, you start looking around in the pile left behind by the shambling mound. And you find amongst all the organic material some bones. Some long bones, huge bones, certainly not belonging to humanoids.
Oh.
You also find a humanoid skull.
Oh.
And Bright Scratch, as you look around, you find a place that looks like some kind of like a crude prison, a pen with stakes tied together with rope. And you can see there are hoof prints in the ground and just blood, a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Is it just like a puddle of blood, or is it
A few puddles.
yeah. I think we were too late.
Well,
Yeah.
main objective was just clearing out the goblins so they could move back home, right?
Yeah.
So
I think
we did
have
our
to
job.
give them and just give them the news that.
Yeah.
Sure, you can do that.
Yeah. Should we head back?
Yes, let's do.
Yes.
All right. So you backtrack the way you came from, and after not long, you are encountered by the centaur scout that you traveled with to the place, and he looks at you. You're all alive. You look in a rough state.
I sort of like plant goo off me and blood and like yeah, a little bit.
People believe like spits out a tooth.
We had some really rough encounters, but the goblins are gone. It's all cleared out of there now.
You can see that there's like evident relief on his face, and he's like, "That is good to hear. We've been so far away from our home for so long. If I may, what did you encounter? What could have slain our best scouts? Surely not just goblins."
I just look over to the others like, can't even explain what it was.
We have no idea what it was. It was made of plants and seemed to be consuming people and goblins. We don't really have any details, but it brought us quite a lot of trouble.
And my people, did you find them?
To be honest, we couldn't find them like that. But I found like a cage area where there was a lot of blood. So it didn't look too good.
Well, it is as we feared. Well, you have done a great service. I will take you back to my elder.
Thanks.
This way. He turns around and starts to slouch through the woods. And we are almost at 9, so I think we will leave off with you trudging back towards the centaur, whatever a centaur group is called, pride, a stampede of centaurs.
Sure.
Yes. So we'll be back next Thursday, the 1st August at 7 p.m. Central European Time at twitch.tv/Double Dragon Trouble, where we will find out how the centaurs will take this, and maybe next time we'll have Dimmock back so he can actually tell you in detail what he experienced in that trance of his that cost Dagus his life.
Yeah. I don't think Balthazar is very impressed with Dinok either so far. He hasn't done anything since I joined the party.
What was he doing when we were fighting? Did he just sit like?
He was just pondering, like.
He like emerged from the bushes, just carrying 7 goblin skulls or like goblin heads, just throws them in the pile. Who knows what he did out there?
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And hopefully it won't be 250 degrees next time, but it is likely to be thus.
The weather forecast says it's better on Tuesday. At least here.
That's still way too long.
Yeah.
When is the snow gonna come?
Oh, that's gonna be a while.
Do you have snow in Denmark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. One
Exactly.
year.
Every few years.
And I made my Robbie Rotten costume for Saturday, and it's really warm.
Oh yeah. Well, you
So
got
it's
the
gonna
song
be hell.
ready. Certainly.
Yeah. My God, it's gonna be interesting.
Well, should we
okay.
end it all?
do the wave and say, see you next time for
Exactly.
more D&D adventures! Ah!